Hello and welcome to this Megaport Live Tech drop-in session. My name is Paul McGuinness. You can reach me on the email address at the bottom of the screen or on LinkedIn. So just a level setter on Megaport as we start. So Megaport is offering a global network as a service offering. You can build services immediately through our portal or through APIs, and that allows you to provision high capacity private connectivity from data center to data center, data center to cloud, into virtual connectivity hubs, and also to build your own ecosystems across the network. It's nice and simple to do. It's very powerful and immediate, and you're not locked into any long-term contracts so that you can be flexible and can scale to support your business's needs. Today, I'm going to talk about virtual cross connects and what they mean to Megaport, and then we're going to do a little demo at the end as well. So virtual cross connects are basically a layer 2 Ethernet circuit, and they're a high-speed virtual point-to-point circuit or a pseudo wire between the elements on the Megaport network. So you can provision services using VXCs between just about any element on the Megaport network and to third parties like cloud service providers or those third parties on the Megaport marketplace or on our ecosystems, including the AI exchange and the financial services exchange, to name a couple. And you can see here in this diagram, we have just a kind of a representation of what you can do with VXCs. So using our access products like ports, you can connect VXC from one port to another port. You can go port to MCR, port to MVE, MVE to port. And then you can connect to the cloud providers, and they can connect to any of the access methods as well. And you can also connect to third parties like RingCentral or Wasabi or Salesforce using a VXC. Um, and all of these connections are private connections across the Megaport network as well. So very flexible, starting at low data rates of 1 megabit per second, and you can go up in increments of 1 megabit per second all the way up to 100 gigabits per second. So it depends on the service you're connecting to, and the speed of the port, for example, will govern the maximum size. But we're offering now 100 gig ports and 400 gig ports on the network as well. VXCs are inherently protected service. So on the path of those virtual cross connects, we have multiple different paths that the VXCs can take. So it is resilient to failures, and you can have multiple failures and the VXC will still survive. You may see some additional latency on the VXC, but the VXC will still be up and operating. So they're really operating as an 802.1q VLAN, and we can also support Q and Q transparently across these VXCs. The MTU is 9100 for VXCs deployed on Megaport ports inside our over 1,000 data centers. And for MCR, in the last year, we've added a larger MTU as well, so that you can have an MTU of 9,074 bytes without Q and Q enabled, and take away 4 bytes from that if you want to turn on Q and Q on the MCR. IX and certain CSPs do not support jumbo frames, but they all support at least 1,500 bytes. Okay, so what we're going to do for a demo today is we're going to move a virtual cross connect. So this is a really useful feature if you need to move services around a metro for some reason. Maybe you want to upgrade the size of your MCR, like in this example, or maybe you just want to move from one data center to another data center as your services migrate around a metro for some reason. So let's cover off some of the rules around moving a VXC. So you can only move a VXC from the same type of access product. So you can move the VXC end from one port to another port, from an MCR to another MCR, MVE to MVE. And you can only move to a port in the same metro as the current port, MCR or MVE. And there must be enough capacity on the selected service that you're moving to allow you to move that. And if a VLAN is specified, the VLAN must be available on that destination port or it will not work. And then finally, a good rule to bear in mind is that it must not cause a change to billing. So if it's just moving inside the metro, that doesn't change the billing in any way, and you're just moving from one service to another. So this is what I've built up already. I've got a Cisco C8KV in autonomous mode running on a Megaport virtual edge. It has an internet connection on this IP address. And then I have two MCRs. I have a 1 gig MCR and I have a 5 gig MCR. And then I have a VXC that is running at 200 megabits per second across those. And we have this in the London Metro. So let me just go out of the slides and I'll share my screen. And here on the left-hand side, I've got my Cisco device. So let me just move my screen around a little bit. And we do, I can tell you that I've got BGP set up between the MVE and the MCR, and I can ping the MCR from here as well. So that's all there and available. If I go into the Megaport portal on the right-hand side, I filter out the services only for services that I have created. And here at the top, we have the Cisco Catalyst 8000V running in autonomous mode. It's got its internet connection here on B77D service ID. And then it's got a VXC from this device to an MVE, a 1 gig MVE sitting in Telehouse North. And then we've got another MVE, a 5 gig MVE sitting in Verne data center in London. These MCRs happen to be in separate zones. It's not too important for the demo today. But what we're going to do is we're going to take this VXC and we're going to move it to the other MCR. So let's just get a ping going. Let's just get a large count on that and get that going. So now in the portal, we can see we've got the move VXC option here on this single VXC. You can move multiple connections at the same time if you want to, and it'll move all of the VXCs or it'll move just a few. I'm going to move one right now, and it takes us to this page, and it's saying move from this MCR, this connection to this destination. If I had other MCRs here in the London Metro that were also eligible, it would show them here. And you can see we're moving from, a blue MCR to a red MCR. So on the next page, it's giving us the option. It's kind of giving us a summary of what we're going to move. If there were multiple VXCs, it would show them here. We move that. It's giving us a warning that you're changing zone as well. So you need to consider that when you're moving things around with regards to your design and availability zones. It then processes that, and it takes about a minute for this to come through and enact the change on the Megaport network. So it's saying success there. We can close this window. And now if I scroll down, we can see that the VXC has moved from the Telehouse North MCR down to the Verne MCR. Okay. So basically, if we go back to the diagram, we've taken this VXC from here and we've moved it across to this device over here. So the ping is still going, and in about 10, 20 seconds, I'm expecting us to lose the ping for a short while. And of course, BGP will go down as well. So, we recommend obviously that you do this within a maintenance window so that you're able to, understand when you're dropping the traffic on the network. And there we go. We've lost that connection, and we should lose it for about 1 minute, and then it will restore again and BGP will come back up. Obviously, the solution architect team globally at Megaport can help you design resilient solutions. You should always have a resilient option in here anyway. So as you're moving devices, you could actually bring a VXC down during a maintenance window, making sure your traffic is on your backup path and then moving the VXCs that you've taken down. And then following that, you could bring those back up and into service and then move the other side if required. So just refreshing the services in the Megaport portal. And there we go. The ping is back up again. And if we go in here, just stop that ping, we can now go to show BGP. BGP is just come back up again almost immediately after the ping being restored. So if we refresh the portal over here, we can now go into this particular VXC that we've moved, and we can look through the configuration. We can see that it's on VNIC 1 on the MV side with a VLAN tag of 1000. The BGP configuration is down here that we're using, and then within the details, we can see that the BGP status is up, and we can see that in the logs here as well. So BGP is up, as we can see on this Cisco device as well over on the other side. So that concludes the demo here today. So we hope you found that interesting, the ability to move VXCs, and you have to obey by the rules that we have set out here on the left-hand side, but it can be a really flexible option for moving services around a metro, being able to upgrade services, being able to, redesign where your connections are with reference to ports, with reference to different metro zones as well, so that you can move from blue and red also. So hopefully you find that useful. If you do need any help with your network designs, please reach out to a Megaport solution architect and join us on the next tech drop-in. Thank you.